Okay, so we're here with a Kill for Claw 2 tournament is about to start. Hi there, Ate and a Rubber Duck of War, Niklaus 6. Currently we have 13 people checked in. That's very nice considering it's a midweek tournament. I guess it's one positive thing of the corona crisis that we're able to do this. I'm just gonna take a quick look at the players who haven't checked in yet. Whatever, let's see. King says he checked in. We get 16 people, guys. We get 16 people. It's gonna be perfect. Here we go. We have Iron Foxy against H45, Achilles versus TheUndertaker, Tank versus King of the Dead, Celup versus Mr. Lamarquis, Rubber Duck of War versus ChosenOne, Knight XO versus Saul, Pharaoh versus Niklaus, and Noob for Life versus Scyther. Okay, so we have Tombguard with Alberts here. Halberdier is very popular. Vampire counts. There's also some Skeleton Spearmen, one of them the Scorpion Legion with the poison attacks, of course. Units of Ushabti, so he's not just going to give the infantry battle away for free. And 2 Necropolis Knights. These guys have sort of been eclipsed by Sepulchral Stalkers recently. But not in this case. So we have Arkan the Black with Spirit Leech and his abilities to summon skeletons and increase his Winds of Magic, regeneration, also the Liber Mortis, red physical resistance, huge boon, and a Lich Priest of Light. This Lich Priest, he doesn't have the passive, he does have Net of Amantalk and Barona's Time Warp. That's interesting, we don't see this spell a lot. Still all flying meta for VC. I think they still play Terrorgeists quite a bit, but Terrorgeists will not be seen that much against Tomb Kings because the monsters that the Terrorgeists are supposed to kill have fire attacks, so they actually deal extra damage. So we have King here with the Tomb Kings and Tank going forward with his zombies and his Graveguard. Good to see these guys. They were buffed, so... Well, they were buffed and they got a price increase, so they're a bit more of an elite unit now. There's also Cryptors in the back here, and the centerpiece of the army, or the most important part of the army, the 2 Blood Knights, who are no doubt going to clash with these Necropolis Knights at some stage. And Heinrich Kemmler is with them. And this is something I've sometimes talked about, guys. Kemmler on a horse with not his legendary item? It seems he doesn't have his legendary item. No. Yes, Lord of Undeath. Summons Krell. Yes, Undeath Resurgent. Let's raise that. Dance Macabre. Invocation of Nehek. But none of his legendary items, which I find surprising. I thought he was going to have him fight with the Blood Knights and then have his item heal the Blood Knights, which is actually a viable way to play Kemmler. But it seems he doesn't have them, which... yeah, as I said, I find surprising. Although maybe it's just a bug where it doesn't show up on the unit card. Kembla! Let's look at him. Usually he does these screeches. Oh, that's a tree stump. Where are you, Kembla? Yep. He's already turned his back. Like, I'm too cool for you guys. I don't even need to look at the enemy. Okay, so Tank probably realizing that he has the stronger infantry force, which is also being buffed by a corpse guard here. And what I think will be a challenge for Tank is finding a good home for his Cryptors. Ideally, they will slap away at the Ushabti. It's the best target for them here. Ooh, nice cap scrat there by the White Kings, which is something I should mention. They both have the Scap Scrat. It's very good at taking out Doomguard and other Doom King infantry, which has rather low armor. And actually, I used that in a build as well. I'm not saying that's where he got the idea, but... okay. It is interesting to see some players coming to the same conclusion, that that is a good ability. And so, the Necropolis Knights, they're rushing in here, maybe trying to get to this corpse card. On the left flank, zombies are taking a lot of damage, but that's of course their job. Zombies holding up the King Nehek. King Nehesh? King Nekesh's Scorpion Legion. Very well. And the Blood Knights, so neither Blood Knights nor Necropolis Knights really being committed right now. Going for some cheeky charges here and there, but of course they want to preserve themselves as much as possible. One Blood Knight is now going onto all of these guys. The whole leadership squadron here, including Arkan. But the Necropolis Knights, they're going to come back. And they're going to, well, not take much of a charge from the Blood Knights. So the way I see this is Blood Knights have the way superior charge, which is maybe why we see this Net of Amintog being used and being brought. But Necropolis Knights, they're probably better in a grind. And they're being buffed with the Liber Mortis and Barona's Time Warp, so they're currently doing a lot of damage to these Blood Knights. So this Blood Knight does look fine, and this Ushabti isn't having the best of days. So what's happening on the right flank? It looks like the Tomb Guards, Tomb Kings are slowly winning, although it's too early to say for sure. One big thing Tank is going for him here is this Corpse Guard buffing this whole main engagement. It was of course clear from the start that the clash between the Blood Knights and the Necropolis Knights was going to be the most important thing in this battle. Another Scab Scrat there, very good, hitting 2 units. Nice usage of that ability. And what is Kemmler doing? Kemmler is just in the back. Maybe Tank didn't take the legendary items because he figured it would be too risky. Okay, so this Blood Knight is pulling back, I like that. This Blood Knight is pulling back, I like that as well. They can get some passive healing here, and it looks like on this flank at least, the vampire counts are starting to cut through. Doomgar Halberds, of course, not exactly superior to, well, everything that's here. I was gonna say Graveguard, but there's actually not really Graveguard on this side. So yeah, counts pushing to victory, and the summon comes in, but the Tomb Kings, they need to make something happen here. And the snakes, they're trying to do these charges, get rid of some infantry. But Kemmler is running away. He also used Undead Resurgent here. So he is running away. And Tank is just not risking him. Keeping him safely behind the lines. First time ever I see Kemmler being used like this. I guess the main reason for bringing him is the Krell summon. Because other than that, currently he's not doing much that a regular Necromancer couldn't do. It must really be the Krell summon. Did we get Krell here? Oh yeah, Krell is over here. Krell is dealing with the Ushabti, look at him. Look at him go. That feeling when you find Krell after not knowing where he is. Okay, so let's follow Krell around. Where is he going? This big ice axe. He's running over here, but there's no one here. But I think he's just getting in a position to get an attack on Arkan the Black. Oh, and he's gonna smack that snake. And Snake's not really engaging on Krell. They figure, hey, let him just die of attrition. It's probably the better way here. So infantry battle in the center has been won by the Vampire Counts. On this side, the Tomb Kings have won, but they're about to get sandwiched, I think, by zombies and Graveguard. So this flank now being abandoned. And another Scab Scrap. Tank has been using those very well, especially on these stacked up units, which is something that's to be expected in a matchup like this that is mostly about melee. So yeah, Tomb Kings are going to make their final stand here, but I don't really see any way back for them. They're just up against a superior melee force. And another Scab Scrat comes in. This one actually not badly aimed against these blobbed up units, which are all crumbling right now. They're going to do another charge. The Liber Mortis is coming in for that physical resistance, but there's too much stuff here. Counts in a straight melee grind, just too strong. Will the VODs be on the channel afterwards? Yes, if I have streamed, then the VOD is available for 14 days. If you click videos above the stream, there's this tab that says videos, and then there's past broadcasts there and other things as well. Maybe I should also start uploading to YouTube. I'm always thinking I need to make YouTube videos, but you know, what a lot of people do is they just take parts of their stream and put that on YouTube. Now that's granted more established people who do that, but I do think if there's like a good battle or a tournament like this, and I can just edit out the boring parts, or the pauses, that it will make a good YouTube video. Yep. So Tomb Kings tried what they could. I actually liked the approach of not going for those big monsters, those big stompy monsters, but it's a straight melee build, and in a straight melee brawl, the vampire counts are actually stronger. So tank with the win there, with the 1-0. Even for stream highlights, yeah. I actually already have a YouTube, which I put some videos on, made specifically for YouTube. Second, that command isn't working. Social? Yes, there's the link to the YouTube. So yeah, Kemmler, very interesting use there. Of course, giving that passive regen. The Corpse Guard was getting a lot of value. And the Blood Knights, yeah, because they have Nehek, they actually, or because you can heal them with Nehek, they actually win out in the end against these Necropolis Knights. So yeah, the Scabskrat also hitting quite a few of these units. This Skeleton Spearman was the first one to fall to it, and that made the life of the Graveguard a lot easier. So well played to tank. It's now 1-0 up. So the Dwarves, with a big army as usual, that's the way to play them. And a unit of Longbeards for the leadership most likely. I see 5 Dwarf Warriors with a charged defense, shields, 1 cannon so we can hold this position. The Dragonback Slayers, possibly the best unit in the whole Dwarf roster. Slows down anything it attacks. Massive, anti-large, and unbreakable as well. 2 more Slayers alongside that. A unit of Iron Drakes with Trollhammer Torpedoes gonna be very good if they can fire. And 2 units of Quarrelers. And we have no Grimlings Ironbreakers, a very tough unit. I believe I also saw Grombrindal somewhere. Yes, here he is now, Grombrindal. We may not see him much, but take a look at this guy. He has the Flash Bomb. It's like a Flash tournament, but better. So this can really stop a huge unit from breaking through the lines. And 16 seconds is all you need to get some shots off with Trollhammer Torpedo. So it gives some much needed crowd control to the Dwarves, who of course want to keep their ranged units firing. We're in a very tight formation here, so units could quickly pierce through and get onto them. But that's why they bring this crowd control. Let's see if it's enough, because King, he has War Mammoth, has 2 Feral Manticores for disruption, a Shaman Sorcerer of Death, Soul Blight, and Purple Son of Seers, a Wulfric the Wanderer with the Sea Fang ability, of course, very good tool against these dwarves. It's also gonna slow them down, you know, you gotta slow down those dwarves, otherwise they're just too fast. But it's really the massive magical damage that could technically go all along the line here and hit quite a few of these units. And then for the infantry, we just have Marauders, because they're just basically a tar pit for all the big stuff to do the real work. We also have Norscan Ice Trolls, guys. Holy crap. You don't see these guys a lot, but they are pretty cool. Bit higher than usual attacks. Not higher leadership though. And a Frostbite, which is also going to slow dwarves. Mammoth, of course, the most important piece of this army. Manticores will dodge. Both Wulfric and the Shaman Sorcerer. They are on Green, thank you for the follow. When did you unfollow me? Or is this another green? So the mammoth is standing here, gonna take a little bit of fire, but it's gonna start moving again pretty soon. But these things, they don't have that much armor, guys, so you do gotta be careful. These follies. So here comes the purple sun. It's gonna do good damage against these quarrelers. Holy crap, this unit is just getting eaten alive by it. I thought, oh, it's not doing that much, but then it went this way, so that one unit of quarrelers is completely wiped out. Now the manticore is flying onto the iron drakes. So is the other manticore. And the mammoth going straight in. And he's already taken some damage, but I mean, the damage potentially has is still as high as it was when he had 100 health. So, oh, here's the unit I missed. Norscan Warhounds. They're gonna come in and start snacking on those iron drakes. Because the iron drakes, of course, are a massive threat to this war mammoth. And the hounds, yes, now they're jumping on top of him. Manticore is going down as well. And King of the Dead, he's also brought in his chariots. But the chariots currently are a bit stuck between these Dragon Max Slayers. Okay, Sea Fang coming in here. Gonna tear through some of these dwarves. Of course, they have magic resistance, so it's not as bad. It is against other factions. More Norscan Warhounds coming in. Even the Beasts of Tashnar. They see a tasty cannon crew here. But Wulfric is gonna need some help. He's gonna manage to pull out. Good usage of the Marauders there. And the Norscan Warhounds are coming in from the back. Now these trolls, they're having a bit of trouble finding a good home. Because they're being chased by giant slayers. And are they able to outrun them? They should be able to outrun them, but as you know, dwarfs are natural sprinters, so they're actually managing to catch up. And the mammoth was routed. At the same time, the iron drakes are dying, and the mammoth will be back, guys. And if King can get rid of all this range stuff, then the mammoth is going to be a lot more dangerous. Although, the most problematic unit on the field for him right now, I would say, are these giant slayers. We ideally want infantry to take care of them, but the infantry was already pretty light from the beginning, and well, these guys have to be killed until the last man, so it's gonna be up to monsters that are, you know, naturally countered by giant slayers. Deal with that. But with enough cycle charging, they might still be able to do it. Okay, Grombrindal is going for that manticore, but he's gonna get flanked by the mammoth, who is back with a vengeance, getting another big hit there on Grombrindal. The weakness, of course, of footlords, even powerful ones like Grombrindal, is that they tend to get knocked over. So they can't always get the hits back that they on paper should be able to get. Nice movement here by the mammoth. It sees the slayers coming. It's gonna pull back through its own line and lead them into the infantry. But the flash bomb has been popped and it's still taking damage somehow, even though it looks like it's quite far away. There's quite a few bodies between it. Oh, but here comes the Sea Fang and it's gonna hit big. Yes, that Sea Fang, that was such a good hit on those units that just blobbed up. It was a beautiful play by King there. Very nice. Now the mammoth going for Grombrindal again, and both are close to dying, but like it could go either way really. If he knocks him over again, if he doesn't take a hit back, but right now it looks like Grombrindal is the one getting the hits, and he's gonna rout that mammoth. That's big. If Grombrindal dies there, battle is not looking that good for the dwarves, but he survived, and the most scary unit on the field is going away now. And the chariots are going back in. Here comes another purple sun, going to once again do good damage. Now the giant slayers, they take a little bit less damage from that because their formation isn't as clumped up. Now the question is, what does Norska have left? I don't think the mammoth will come back. I mean, maybe it will, but it has very little health. These ice trolls, they're regenerating. They should come back. These ice trolls might also make a return. Norscan Warhounds, they're gonna try and finish off the last of these Iron Drakes. Oh, but Wulfric got caught and he will probably die here. As Wulfric got chopped down by Grombrindal. He just put down the Hunter of Champions. But there's no follow-up damage. Looks like Grombrindal is going to get another hit. The Shaman Sorcerer as well. The Flash Bomb there being popped. Once again, this Shaman Sorcerer is dead. And with that, Norse guy is dead. In an extremely close battle. This was so close. I mean, if the Mammoth just gets one more hit on Grombrindal, he might rout, he might be out of there. The other dwarf forces might have trouble holding. So, and I really love that play where he used to Seafang to hit the bunched up units and, you know, right after he pulled this Mammoth away. So where did it go wrong? Well, I'm not entirely sure, guys. Maybe he just got... As you can see, it's a very close battle, so it's really just about getting a little bit of value. These Giant Slayers, they almost killed them all. Dragonback Slayers are still around. But getting a little bit more value out of your units. I mean, the Purple Sun was really nice as well. But, I guess what really made the dwarves come out on top on this one is that Wulfric and the Shaman Sorcerer a couple times got stuck on their chariots and took more damage than they were supposed to. But when you're having to macro Mammoth to chariots, who did get a lot of kills though, so they did to their value, and all the Warhounds and all the Manticores, it's pretty tough. Noob for Life versus Scheifer. Maybe these guys are in the tournament. Maybe against Scyther. Maybe we can catch the second game here. So let's look at our Norscan army. A lot of Norsca. Okay. Feral Manticore. Hey, do that. He seems to be opting for Skin Wolves, the regular kind. Two of those. There is a Feral Mammoth. There is Wulfric. Is he on a horse? Nope, he's on his chariot. And I'm gonna guess that he doesn't have Seafang, just Hunter of Champions. Okay, I think this might be good in case you face Malekith, which is all too likely. Fight or die, but no Seafang. He probably thinks a good player will dodge it anyway, but I feel like it's still worth it to go for it. But apparently, Loop for Life first to play without it. And he does bring the Penumbral Pendulum, so he does have a similar ability. Maybe that's why he skipped on it. And there's Enfeebling Foe as well, so a lot of what I would call anti-Malekith measures being taken here. There's also the Mass of Savagery, of course, Regiment of Renown, very strong unit. The Beasts of Tashnar, which are anti-large, so could be used to trap Malekith if he even exists in this battle. 2 units of Marauder Horsemen as well. Okay. So, for the Dark Elves, RTK, Scyther, veteran Total War player. Not that much of a veteran in this game, but a lot of experience playing, I think, Rome 2 and Shogun and other Total Wars. And he's bringing Cold One Knights. So has some Scourge Runner chariots here. And it's like he has 5 Black Ark Corsairs. It's one too many. Dark Rider, repeated crossbows in the front. Where is this lord? At least I think, yeah, it's like up to 500. Yeah, so if they have too many units, it's not like you automatically lose the battle. You have to put that unit somewhere where it doesn't participate. So I was thinking of making it up to 650, but then I thought chameleon skinks are kind of problematic when there's 5 of them, so I'd rather not do that. And There's actually a bit of a funny statistic. Anytime someone has had to do this, or they had one too many of a kind of unit, if somehow won the battle, like once it was even Lizardmen and they weren't able to use their Revivification Crystal, and they still won. It was like a time where Amuf was playing Dwarves and he had one too many Thunders and I removed the Thunder from his army and he still won. So it's definitely a disadvantage, but it's not like he has no chance now. So there's a bunch of Dread Spears. And yeah, Dark Riders, repeater crossbows. Perfect chariot target, armored and large. You mean those wolves? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Water on this map? Definitely don't wanna get your infantry stuck in there. And Mass of Savagery, they're kinda cavalry, so a bit of a cavalry advantage going on here for Norska. We're going into this forest here. Not willing to move through the water. And that's fine, like I've seen tournaments where someone was just positioning their army and the host or people in chat were like, is he allowed to do that? He's not attacking right now, he's positioning, so it's fine. I think he wants to attack from here, he just doesn't want to go through the water. So Scourge Runner Chariots and Dark Riders are gonna have to get some work done, but the Marauders are screening. Another thing is, these Skin Wolves, they're going to take a volley here. Yeah, look, this is what I thought, that a lot of the shots would actually miss. These guys also regenerate, so I mean, obviously the Dark Riders can kill them, but it's not as bad as getting a unit of Knights shot. Skin Wolves are going to regenerate that damage. It is still damage though, and regeneration on them it's actually quite fast. This looks like about 4 hit points per second. Okay. So Dark Riders with the superior range, adjusting their formation, keeping the lake to their right side. Cavalry wisely kept in the back for now. Oh. Both players getting a bit too close to the lines here. They're not trying to line abuse here though, it's kind of just how the positioning on the map worked out, but Scyther, he's not too close, I would say. Norskins coming in now. Black Ark Corsairs against Marauders. That's a fight Black Ark Corsairs should be able to win. It seems they're just sort of baiting the charge, because of course this Mammoth is coming in, Wulfric is coming in. Wulfric is countercharging the Scourge Runner Chariots, and oh, I think the Beasts of Tashna are about to jump onto that Scourge Runner Chariot. Good maneuver here though, getting rid of these Marauders' charge and going straight into the back of these Marauders and then pulling the Chariot back. That's some good Chariot micro right there. Also here, some Rome 2-esque micro, where the Cold One Knights come in, break up the charge of the Marauders, then the infantry, I mean, Noob for Life is sort of doing the same thing. He's sending in his large units, stopping charges before committing his infantry where he can, quickly adapting to that, and oh, look at this Cold One Knight, taking so much damage. Then Nulum is coming in here, gonna hit that Black Ark Corsair, do a lot of damage. Now, the Dark Riders, they have a great position here though. Actually able to fire away at this Feral Mammoth, which is now rampaging, but as I say that, Skin Wolves break through and start chasing these guys. Because of course that Cold One Knight is gone now. Scourge Runner Chariot, it will be able to do some damage to them, but not enough I think. And that is damage that Scyther really needs. Now he is going to commit one Cold One Knight here, and probably the other one as well, but there's still one unit chasing his Dark Riders. But yeah, I did not expect Cold One Knights to get mauled this badly by Skin Wolves. I know they're getting outnumbered here, so that definitely explains it to some degree, but this is a very uneven fight. Now the Beasts of Tashnar are coming in, the Marauders are coming in. So the Dark Elves, oh, and another Pendulum. That hurts, that really hurts. But the Dark Elves, they're having to fight pretty much without their Dark Rider support, and Dark Riders will probably eventually get caught. So Scourge Runner Chariot going back. I was gonna say it would have been so good if it could have kept this Mammoth routing. The Mammoth is not routing, but you know, even with the Black Orc Corsairs missing, I was gonna say the Dark Elves are winning the infantry engagement, but it's not true. As I was about to say that all of these units started routing. Some of their units are still holding though. But I think Scyther realizes, okay, I need to get my Dark Riders back online, so I need to get rid of his mobility first. I'm not sure if he'll be able to do it. Master and Malekith, they're trying to do what they can. Malekith, he has a Soul Stealer here, it would be beautiful. Doesn't look like he does. Beast of Tashnar, they're currently not being microed, which is allowing their Dark Riders to slowly get rid of them, but you can see due to the forest and their own missile resistance, it's not doing that much. Okay, that is a very good Soul Stealer right there to hit all of these units. And Malekith also using that Gaze of Malice there to hit these Marauders. But what is he going for now? He's quickly running out of reinforcements. Yeah, he's kind of by himself right now. Master also got killed. These units on the fringes. I don't think they can engage in this blob. Beasts of Tashnar are now microed on top of that Dark Rider. Dark Rider's having some trouble, and Malekith right now wishes he had another Soul Stealer, but I don't think he does. I don't think he does, chat. He's getting mauled. Scourge Runner Chariot is coming in. Yeah, this is a Norscan Death Ball. Sure. And the Skin Wolves, they perform so well against Cold One Knights. I thought it would be a pretty even battle, but it seemed like Skin Wolves won handily. No, they definitely didn't. It wasn't like they were charging straight into each other. They got a good engagement there as well. I'm still somewhat surprised. Marauders now charging onto Dark Riders. With Malekith dying. That's gonna be it. Noob for life. It's going to eliminate. ChosenOne Salsiccia is definitely something I want to see. It looks like they both hosted system. So, you know, army limit rule breaks here. Old One Spear Riders, 2 of them, actually 3 of them. Red Crested Skinks, along with the cohort of Sotek, which is an unbreakable unit. I feel like a lot of Regiments of Renown are unbreakable. Like, we're making Regiments of Renown, what will we do? Okay, let's make another unbreakable unit. And those units, of course, become almost like auto picks. Block of Doom, Ember Spear, and Transformation of Kadan. We have a Saurus Old Blood, born of Kaigor. Charge bonus, melee attack, and leadership could help out a lot in a Monster Mash. Stand your ground. Amulet of Itzel, 66% damage resistance for 18 seconds. Can only be used once though. Foe Seeker. It's also Rampage. This guy is Frenzy, that's pretty scary. This I like to see. Salamander Hunting Packs. Another tough unit that the Lizardmen have. Their missile damage is quite high. And is also anti-large. Melee weapon strength, which is pretty high. Also armor piercing. Flying in the skies, we have some Pterodon riders with poison missiles, and of course the ability to drop rocks on their enemies. The Bahawk's Sentinels as well. Bronx of Sundering can sunder the enemy armor. Against this, Sal is bringing sort of what I expected. which is a Dragon Ogre Shaggot, actually 2. And not something I expected. Archaon the Ever-Chosen. Oh yeah. Let's look at this guy. 70 attack, 60 melee defense, 120 armor, 85 leadership, 470 armor-piercing weapon strength. He's gotten a lot better. Standard Eye, Foe Seeker, Burning Head, Cascading Fire Cloak, which is of course hugely helpful. He has Marauder Horseman, to be able to counter that air. For the infantry, he has Chaos Marauders. He actually has Chosen, guys. 3 Chaos Marauders, 2 Chosen, 1 Mirror Guard. Okay. Infantry against the infantry. If you look from this side, it might seem like he has to go uphill, but I think it's actually rather even. The only thing that may spark some contention, I think, when discussing this map is this terrain here, which you could potentially use to your advantage. Start on this side, but I'm not sure if it's, you know, big enough impact. I'm gonna be taking feedback from the players in terms of the maps, and also, well, not so much the army rules, but they can always give feedback on those, but mostly the picking rule. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, so Salamander hunting packs, of course, the most mobile unit on the field, along with these flyers. Chaos having to go forward, and they're going to have to attack onto this high ground because, well, obviously, these things are fast enough to kite them. Sal, he is microing his Dragon Ogre Shaggot, may be able to dodge, but the shot's now going onto the Chosen instead. But look at these Chosen. They're just tough as nails. They took barely any damage from that. They were like 105 missile damage. That's nothing to us. Nothing. But now the shots are coming in though on the Marauder Horsemen, and they're not going to digest them quite as well. And that volley doing quite a bit. The Dragon Ogre Shaggot here chasing, but has to be careful because the Saurus Old Blood is coming around. Old One Spear Riders are coming in. And he has his infantry to support him now, but it's some early damage there, which is quite a lot already, if you think about it. But he is getting some damage back on these Cold Ones. His main line is now being charged by the Cold One Spear Riders. Shaggot's not able to respond to everything. But one Shaggot now going for the fight with the Saurus Old Blood. Cavalry is once again coming in for support, but infantry is also coming in for support. This Chaos Dragon Ogre Shaggot is not having the best of times. So, Marauder Horsemen trading shots. The Bahawk Sentinels both, you know, having some trouble hitting each other as it seems. No big damage being dished out there. One Dragon Ogre Shaggot at 50 hit points, or 50% hit points. 50 would have been a bit severe. 50%. Now the Chaos Infantry is coming in. Chaos Infantry will of course just eat up these Lizardman units. Now both Shaggots are fighting Saurus Old Blood, which is really nice to see. Chaos. Ooh, what's coming in here? A Burning Head. The Burning Head gonna do decent damage, but then it's gonna go into Chosen. But the Chosen, they have very high armor, and if you have armor, you're less susceptible to being burned or cooked alive in your armor this game. Chosen, they're eating up these skink cohorts, like what Saul is doing with his Dragon Ogre Shaggots, keeping them together and keeping them saturated in infantry. That is the way to do it. But I wonder if what Archaon is doing. He's chasing this cohort of Sotek. Really, what would really help here is if you put the Cascading Fire Cloak on one of these guys. But right now, the Shaggots, they have the Saurus Old Blood kind of right where they want him. Although the shots are coming in now, and a Feral Manticore is coming in now. A bit of friendly fire going on as well. Yeah, that Shaggot got wrecked. But now the javelins are coming in against the Saurus Old Blood. And as he gets tired, his armor value actually goes down, and the javelins become better against him than they would otherwise be. But the Cold One Spear Riders have managed to evade the Chaos Infantry here. And one Marauder is going to get snacked by this Cold One. The Feral Manticore is quickly dying to the Shaggoth, but the Shaggoth is falling low. And he's gonna be the thing to take out the Saurus, I believe. I think Sal will need to take out the Saurus. So Archeon is still alive and kicking as well, helping that infantry fight. And if it comes to a fight between single entities, he's gonna have a say in the matter. I'm just a little bit worried for Archeon because there's one thing that lords like that have as a disadvantage. Sometimes it seems they just can't hit back properly against creatures that are bigger than them. Another Manticore is coming in, getting a good hit on the Shaggoth there. Shaggoth is now joining up with Archeon. Archeon, yes, he is also on foot actually. Thought he wasn't a horse, but he is on foot. He may have some trouble getting hits here. Yeah, this might be the fight to take battle. Saurus Old Blood getting struck by the Shaggoth, but the Shaggoth is taking shots from the Salamander hunting pack. Sal is trying to pressure with his Chosen, try to get them to stop firing. And yeah, this Shaggoth is getting taken out. Saurus Old Blood retreating. Archeon now getting swarmed, probably getting knocked around quite a bit as well. Suddenly it doesn't look so good for Chaos. They still have plenty of infantry though, they still have their Marauder Horsemen. They still have tools to win this battle, but your two Dragon Ogre Shaggoths are dead or routing. There's still a lot of big stuff on the field. Then you're not a very happy Chaos Cultist. Also the Marauder Horsemen caught in melee. Not the best situation for them. Let's look at Archeon. Maybe we shouldn't underestimate him. The Burning Head he was about to cast did get cancelled though. Maybe it's time to buff himself. Take a Scathing Firecloak. He's gonna try to cast another Burning Head. Okay, here it comes. And it's gonna do good damage on these red-crested skinks. Yep. Very good damage. It's going to make these Cold One Spear Riders rampage. Saurus Old Blood. It's quite low, but not dead yet. Spear Riders getting javelins chucked at them. Archeon has a lot of work to do here. But yet he still has the Marauders, the Mirror Guard. I believe some Chosen, yep, 36 Chosen supporting him. Yeah, this Shaggoth is back, but I think it's not going to do anything anymore. Maybe if it gets some time to rest, it will regain some leadership, but I think it's too low to still, you know, play any role in this battle. So Archeon is probably going to just murder this King Priest now, if he can get his hands on him. But the balance of power, yeah, it tells us that Chaos is actually doing quite well in this battle. Despite what I was saying earlier. Because, yeah, sure, this Saurus Old Blood is alive. And he can do quite a bit. But still a lot of red on the field. Still some Marauder Horsemen as well, which are now hunting the Salamander hunting pack. Is Sal doing it, or is Saurus Old Blood going to use that big dinosaur Carnosaur to kill all of this? I think he's fallen too low for that. And it's Chaos, despite losing their Shaggoths, taking the win. Sal with the 1-0. Everyone underestimates Warriors of Chaos until Sal plays them. Good point. I mean, I didn't foresee this outcome, because in my mind it's like, okay, if you lose the monster battle, then everything else matters less. But I think this is one of those cases where Shaggoths died, but we're still able to do enough so that, you know, there wasn't too much left against them, and these Chosen were very good. Marauders also pulling their weight. Some getting a little bit less done than others. Mirror Guard doing a good job. And Marauder Horsemen, Not too many kills among them, but they were used pretty well. There was a one that got charged by a old one spear rider, which was probably this one that had a bit of kills and died, but all in all, I liked how they were being used. There were still 2 alive at the end. They used up all their ammo as well, which was valuable. Yeah, very well played. So, a lot of water here, which always looks kind of weird. Look like something you would want to bathe in. We have here the Chosen of the Gods. Skeleton warriors, Neakara warriors, more skeleton warriors. Secondary line of Tomb Guard halberds. Skeleton spearmen, nicely positioned. It's Chosen of the Gods, which is really the centerpiece of the army. Of course, the big Bretonnia Crusher, the Sphinx of Usek, who some factions really dislike for obvious reasons. And then we have 2 Tomb Princes actually. Oh no, a Necrotect and a Tomb Prince on a chariot. Tomb Prince. Is that the Rampage ability? Yes. So he can make enemies rampage. His hit points drop below 50%, which is a weird ability to me. Like, you have to almost get him killed. Then he can use ability. Don't really understand that, but maybe there's a lore explanation. So here we have Necrotect with the Elixir of Might. He's probably going to put that on Sphinx, so we could put it on the Chosen of the Gods as well, but that would surprise me. And he has some healing in this Restore ability. On top of that, Arcan, Aspect of the Dread Knight, Spirit Leech, and the Fate of Yuna. So really going to counter cavalry quite heavily. For Bretonnia, we have a big army here. With lots and lots of men-at-arms. And even battle pilgrims. Holy Wardens, more battle pilgrims, foot squires, men-at-arms with shields. So widespread infantry line. With men-at-arms with polearms behind them. Peasant bowmen behind them. 2 units of questing knights in the pizza slice formation. Paladin, of course, has anti-large. And a Prophetess of Heavens. And what is she packing? She has Curse of the Midnight Wind, Wind Blast, and Comet of Cassandora, which is actually a spell that Sal was talking about in chat earlier. There's also Arcane Conduit. Ooh. Unit of Skeleton Warriors has been summoned, of course. ChosenOne wants to buy time. He wants as much time as possible for his Chosen of the Gods to shoot away. These peasant bowmen need to be careful not to run into that. Are they running into that? Yeah, they are running into that. Oh no, they're stopping just short of him. Job there. The questing knights, they're getting spirit leeched. I don't know, upgraded spirit leech. Might have been, because the caster wasn't that close. Actually, he was close enough. It wasn't an overcast. Necrotect on his chariot, taking some damage. Tomb Prince. Get into these battle pilgrims. So I think the game plan here for Sal is using his infantry to remove all enemy infantry. And then killing whatever large units left with his men-at-arms. And meanwhile also doing what damage he can with the archers. Protecting the archers with the questing knights in case things try to break through and kill them. He has already taken some casualties though. About 100 Bretonians have died. Actually, the Tomb Kings have lost even more. But I guess that was just a summon that was summoned and then died. That must have been it. Questing Knights, they're getting picked apart. This Questing Knight as well. They're taking decent damage. And once the Questing Knights are gone, it's really going to give total freedom almost. Oh, the Comet isn't going to hit. Wait, what was that? It looked like a bunch of rocks dropping from the sky. That was not the Comet, was it? Because that's not what Comet of Cassandora looks like. Okay, there was a Wind Blast wiping out these skeletons. Archers are doing what they can against the Sphinx. And that ability, what was that? I have no idea. Must be some ability that the Prophetess has. Let's see. Assault of Stone. This is something new to me. I've never seen that before. The Paladin is getting snacked by the Sphinx, who is now also healing. Bretonnian Infantry is not having the best of times, but neither is the Tomb King Infantry, really. Although Sal's magic is mostly taking out cheap infantry units, so maybe that's not the very best thing they could be doing. Tomb Prince now chasing the Prophetess. Nice movement there to use her halberds to protect herself. Yep, beautiful micro. And the Bretonnian archers, at the very least, are able to fire away. As I say that, one of them gets attacked by the Tomb Prince, but Men-at-Arms polearms are still around to help out. Here some Men-at-Arms are crumbling this unit of Skeleton Warriors. Men-at-Arms polearms, I believe they're going to lose in the end against these Neakara Warriors. Yeah, it's actually a very close infantry fight, but you know what? Once they're crumbling, these Skeleton Warriors, they don't really come back. Bretonnians might rout and then rally. The Prophet is now actually chasing the Tomb Prince, but there comes Arkan, and he's almost going to get a big hit on her. Oh look, even this Paladin is back, and another Spirit Leech committed to taking him out. Oh, where are the Questing Knights though? There's one Questing Knight here. Could be going on to that Necrotect, and oh, you know what? This Necrotect is going to die. And I don't think it has healed this Sphinx twice. Or has it? Yeah, the Sphinx is healing now, so he got the second restore off just in time, just before he died. Currently, Bretonnia is making this closer. I would have expected them to. Chosen of the Gods are almost out of ammo, but look at all the Bretonnian infantry that's left. Men-at-Arms now jumping onto the Chosen of the Gods. That is the best engagement they could hope for this entire battle. A Fate of Buna on a Men-at-Arms with polearms. Okay, that makes sense, because those are the units that are actually a threat. Will this Prophet survive, though? Sal has to pay close attention, because Arkan is coming for her once again. Right now he's gaining on her, but he's gonna realize that he can't catch her, or maybe he's scared of this infantry. The Prophetess is going away, and Arkan is going to kill the Peasant Bowman instead. 2 units of Peasant Bowman now routing. Chosen of the Gods are also pulling away. Going to stay engaged with the Men-at-Arms polearms. Doom Guards, Halberds, getting killed by the Holy Wardens and the Men-at-Arms. And yeah, there's a lot of Bretonnia still on the field, but only in terms of numbers. In terms of actual troop quality, it seems that single entities may be too much, although Balance of Power currently being inflated by this unit of Ushabti, which is of course going to degrade by itself. So Sal, I think, making the right call and trying to avoid it as long as possible, charging the Chosen of the Gods instead. But yeah, with Arkan's presence there and the Tomb Prince, I think all of these units will rout. Chosen of the Gods, of course, not total pushovers in melee either. And what is left? Deal with this Sphinx. Not much. Another Wind Blast, Tomb Guard, Halberds going down. The Wardens getting terrified. I mean, Bretonnia still has plenty of infantry, but you would need another Wind Blast, I think. Get rid of these Tomb Guard. Oh, and the 1 unit of Carrion. Yeah, that's gonna be useful here, taking out those Peasant Bowmen. I think this is pretty much over. ChosenOne taking his time to rout the units, or to keep the units routing that are routing. And the Sphinx still stands. Sal definitely managed to make it look like he was going to finally do it and get a Bretonnia versus Tomb King's victory. But right now it's no longer looking that way. He killed a lot of stuff. But the Sphinx is still standing. That's the most problematic unit in the roster for Bretonnia. No Gotrek, no. He did have Gotrek selected in the army screen briefly, but then he moved him. Another summon. Arcan. I don't think there's a limit on his summons. Or is there? Is it like 3 charges? I think he can get as many as he likes. Oh, and the Tomb Guard. Or the Tomb Prince. The Tomb Prince actually makes the Prophetess rampage. That's gonna seal the deal. And yeah, good effort by Sal. Tried to remove the infantry. Tried to use the questing knights to keep his archers safe. And he did remove most infantry. But Chosen of the Gods were able to spend all their ammo. Tomb Prince and Arcan on their chariots, which I guess were a bit unexpected. I wouldn't have expected that really. Were able to clean up a lot of infantry. Magic used to kill the paladin. This couldn't be healed. And yeah, the Sphinx of Usek, such a strong. So, what else? What are they playing? Is it a rush build? It's not really a rush build. They have Way Watchers. Also have Wild Riders. Shields. I mean, it's sort of a Vanguard build, but if you have Way Watchers, they're not just gonna commit everything, right? Ooh, we have War Dancers. One of my favorite units in the game. They're so epic. And they're actually good at killing infantry. The thing is simply that, you know, in the current meta, do you want to pay 800 to kill infantry? I mean, yeah, probably if they're like crappy Empire Spearmen. Get through them pretty good. So, Dryads, more War Dancers, Thermal Guard. Ooh, I'm liking this army. Like a mix between kiting and Vanguard and infantry. For Sal, we have a Light Wizard, Net of Amintok, for some control. Could actually catch some of those Way Watchers with it, although they outrange him, so it's unlikely to happen. Shem's Burning Gaze and Fast Protection. So Blast. 3 forward deployed Huntsmen. And Knights of the Blazing Sun. 3 of them. Infantry. You have the Tattersouls, the Sigmar Sons, and 2 units of Flagellants. And the Lord up in the air is the Thought himself. Bringer of Thoughts, Foe Seeker. Midland Runefang for the healing. Crush the Weak. White Cloak of Elric. Hold the line. This Glade Lord does have the net, so basically the biggest play the Way Watchers or what else are able to make here is netting Boris and shooting him and just killing him entirely. And I don't think Sal has enough ranged to really deal with the Way Watchers. I think this engagement is going to go quite badly. Ooh, those Huntsmen. That hurt. Is he gonna get charged as well? Oh no, Huntsman. Retreat. No, they're getting a big charge on them. That's a pretty massive loss, to be honest. But is there going to be a net? Oh, they got jebaited. Yeah, they got completely jebaited. But look at the Light Wizard. He's getting deleted. Oh, that Light Wizard. Yeah, the Prey of Anat Rima. Getting rid of that Light Wizard completely. That's the danger of Way Watchers, of course. So, Wild Riders, they're no match for Knights of the Blazing Sun. Getting destroyed. But Empire has already suffered heavy casualties, but are the Knights of the Blazing Sun catching the Wild Riders? Or the Way Watchers? Yeah, they are! Everyone is losing everyone. Is losing everything. That's gonna be a quick battle here, guys. Knights of the Blazing Sun. Catching the Way Watchers. Way Watchers also being caught by Flagellants. Now the infantry fight is starting. Unit of Knights of the Blazing Sun here. There's still 2 units of Huntsmen. The anti-large of their missiles could be nice against the Glade Lord. Boris is fighting that Glade Lord. The Glade Lord actually tends to win that engagement, I think. It's a bit down to random. But Boris right now is of course also being attacked by spears and Way Watchers, so he doesn't want to be there. He's gonna retreat. Rightly so. Knights of the Blazing Sun about to break, but currently doing good damage against those Dryads. Boris, he has to be careful. His health is low, he will regenerate. Another Prayer of Anet Rima, along with Waywatcher Fire. Could spell the end for him. Oh, the Waywatchers shifting their focus to the Knights of the Blazing Sun. And who's winning the infantry fight? Wonder. War Dancers are currently doing a good job. It seems to me like the Wood Elves have a slight advantage in this infantry fight. Knights of the Blazing Sun got the Prey of Anet Rima on them, which means Boris is able to re-engage. But meanwhile, the Knights of the Blazing Sun are getting killed by the Waywatchers. One unit of Knights of the Blazing Sun seems to be breaking through. Nope. Getting charged by Wild Riders now. Will probably be routed. Huntsman firing away at that Glade Lord. Their damage is good, but their accuracy is not the same as handgunner accuracy. Okay, can the cavalry catch him? No. They were going to try, but now they might go on to the Waywatchers instead. I think they will get the charge off, but they're taking so much damage. I don't think they'll be able to kill off all of these Waywatchers. In fact, the Waywatchers are not even taking that much damage. Oh, look at this Glade Lord. Actually taking a lot of damage from the Huntsman now, but gonna dodge that volley, go back down, get a regrowth here most likely, or an Earthblood. Is it a regrowth? It is a regrowth. An upgraded regrowth. The vigor has been restored, the health is coming back. And you can see these Huntsman volleys are doing more in theory than they're doing in practice, because they're missing a lot. But the Empire is actually just barely winning this infantry engagement. They can now start pressuring these Waywatchers with their infantry. And that's really what they need. Of course, there are still infantry troops for the Wood Elves as well, but there's not that many of them. The question is, do the Waywatchers have enough ammo left though? Because they're gonna need like one volley each, I think. Actually, he's probably not even going to use a volley on the Flagellants. The dragon can take care of them. Arrow of Kurnus here on the Huntsman. Boris coming in. Deal with the Dryads. Lost Wild Rider being sacrificed. Ooh, there's some Knights of the Blazing Sun left. They are... well, they're at least gonna eat another volley. And get killed by the dragon. Yeah, infantry is pressuring the Waywatchers, so they might actually force some shots here. Remember, Boris is still healing. But I haven't seen too many spells here yet. So... could still be some Earthbloods, could still be a regrowth. But another regrowth would actually not do that much. But volleys from the Huntsman missing. I mean, they're missing a lot because the Light Wizard died, of course. But that volley will hit quite nicely, though. Yeah, it's all the Light Wizard's fault. It's his fault for getting killed. What is Boris doing? I think he's trying to bait a volley here, but there's still a Prey of Anet Rima. But that's not very good. Now Boris is taking a lot of damage, and there's enough ammo left to kill him, I think. I think the next volley will kill him. Boris a bit too impatient there. Boris dying like this. He's going to shatter, and all the Empire troops are going to run away. Ooh, was that a throw? I mean, a throw is when you've already won and you throw it away. That definitely wasn't the case, but... maybe could have eventually, you know, had a better engagement with Boris. The question is simply if he could make the Waywatchers force their shots. I guess this was kind of always what was going to some degree. Waywatchers using that last Prey of Anet Rima, the loss of their ammo, take out Boris. Was already lost, yet not enough ammo on Huntsman either way. Yeah, the Huntsman there, because of the loss of the Light Wizard, which happened really quickly, not too effective. Most of their volleys missing. And Boris, I think he could have still played it more patiently, but it probably would have, like, the same thing probably would have happened. Fresh series, guys. H45 against Grombrindal, also known as TheUndertaker. You have the Skaven. This is the Lizardman. Hi, Oregon. I don't like skinks, man. I tested them over and over. You mean the regular ones? I think the ones with javelins are good, but the regular ones, they're kind of weak. But we already saw that H45 has them. Maybe he just wants to clean up Skaven slaves with them or something. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, H45 is definitely kind of the underdog here, but we'll see. This map, high ground, or well, a slight high ground on either side, kind of favorable to Grombrindal's playstyle. Is usually playing defensively with artillery. Had one epic game in a claw cup I hosted. Had like 2 Cygors standing on a hill just destroying everything towards them. He has the Theedbreaker rattling guns who are going to slow people down. The Bubo's charge sharpshooters. And these names. What do they actually do? They remain hidden while firing. That's interesting. And the avalanche mortars, man. I wasn't lying when I said Grombrindal likes his artillery, right? Needs to make sure not to get too close to the line, but I would have been surprised if that was where he was actually putting the cannon. You have some warp grinders, actually. They're a bit of a funny unit. Very high weapon strength, but pretty poor stats. Not really sure what they do. Some of the Skaven players in chat can explain. They stop flying units. That's a good reason to bring them. That is actually a really good reason for bringing them. Destroying walls would not be very useful. We have Skaven slaves up front here. 5 of them. XS Triads. And clan rats with shields in the back line, actually. The Lord is Lord Skrolk, as usual. Makes a lot of sense to bring him. He has a lot of things going for him, really. He has the Liber Bubonicus, big damage against enemy single entities. He has Rod of Corruption, big damage in enemy blobs. Which battles with Skaven often end up in blobs. He has double summons. Aura of Pestilence, which is big, well, rather big. Melee debuff. Plague Rash, so makes the enemies tired just by summoning. Frenzy. He's not, well, he's actually immune to psychology. A little bit at least, but look at the damage those guys are taking. Ooh. With this investment in artillery, that's of course what you would expect. Skaven holding this hill. Firing away. And another thing Skrolk is going for him is this contaminated, so minus 10 leadership to units he hits. He does so much and he's not even weak. So skinks, red-crested skinks are charging home. But they are charging uphill. These Skaven slaves. I mean, it seems the skinks and red-crested skinks are having a pretty hard time already. Of them getting routed. Red-crested skinks on this side getting... Get these mortar shots. Wiping out the skinks. That's brutal. Just triads. I've intercepted, but H45 is actually getting through with these red-crested skinks onto the sharpshooters, which is at least something that's going well for him. And look, this is truly how Skaven should be played. Massive, just massive friendly fire on Ixchas Triads there. Whole unit almost got wiped out. So meanwhile, King Priest is coming in. He has Windblast, so he's going to be able to do some damage. Gold One Riders, they're getting into the back. Saurus Oldblood, man, he's getting shot to pieces. Like, this is so much Skaven firepower. It's just wiping out everything the lizards can throw at them. Some units are getting through, but I don't think it's enough. Okay, the Windblast is coming in here. Gonna hit the Skinks and the Skaven Slaves. And the Teeth Breakers, they're firing away, but I believe these Cold One Riders will be able to charge them. Go on. No. Yep. They were a bit indecisive, but now they're going in there. And they have Harmonic Convergence, so something going right for H45, taking out this unit at least. King Priest is coming in, but look! There's more Skaven, the Council Guard, Clan Rats, Tail Slashers. Whole bunch of infantry coming in. These breakers have been taken out. Saurus Oldblood. He's just getting shot by the Warp Lightning Cannon. That's a good win loss though on a bunch of bunched up units. I don't think it was overcast, because it didn't do much damage to the armored ones. So yeah, what do you do against... Because I've lost to builds like this as well. Against builds like this. Because like if you just bring infantry, just cheap infantry, the artillery is not as effective, but it's not really enough to push through. And you kind of have to get to Skrolk and kill him before he gets too many summons off. But you also have to shut down the ranged. I think Skaven are a very scary faction, and the Undertaker is showing us exactly why that is. There they all go, the Lizardmen are going away. Another Windblast though, gonna hit a couple units. It's a summon, I hope. The unit that got killed by friendly fire, that was this one, which is a Regiment of Renown, so definitely no summon. But this is kind of the typical Skaven build that you see against a lot of factions. I mean, some things will change, of course, but the typical playstyle is disposable infantry, artillery, Skrolk, and just do a lot of range damage and then outlast the enemy. So, Coast, H45 on his last life here. Zombie Pirate Gunnery mobs. Zombie Pirate Deckhands mobs, 5 of those. Unit of Depth card. 4 Carronades. Unit of Deck Dropper handguns. And Gunnery Whites, who will support his artillery. Gonna try to out-artillery the dwarves. Enhanced ballistics, more powder, and extra powder. So lots and lots of buffs for this artillery. Let's see if it's enough. He also has 2 Sirens, which I find interesting. The Sirens with their magic damage actually do less against dwarves, but because, you know, dwarves don't have that much access to magic damage themselves, they might actually do some damage. It kind of depends though. I'm not sure if it would work, but I remember using Cairn Raid sometimes against dwarves. Back in the day when they didn't have runes yet. And the mobility they have and physical resistance against missiles does make them rather useful. The dwarves, how much artillery do they have to counter this? None. It's actually a rush build. So here I am, talking about Grombrindal and how he always plays defensively with artillery. It seems I was wrong. He's actually rushing. Dwarf warriors are rushing forward. One of them the warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Rangers are rushing forward. It's very potent. And Dwarf warriors with great weapons are rushing forward. So, a huge army, also with 4 slayers, which is basically just gonna say, okay, I'm gonna rush forward and good luck killing all of this with your artillery before I get to you. Page 45, realizing that there's a lot of dwarves coming at him, sending out his infantry. Does he have summons, by the way? There's an admiral, but admiral doesn't have summons. He has Doom and Darkness, Soul Blight. Some summons would have been nice here to hold up those dwarves longer. Nice dodge there on that volley from the deck droppers. Deckhand mobs going backwards again. Then forward, so it's almost like he's dodging with the volleys. Okay, some shots on Belagar, he's taking decent damage. He does have a silver shield. Oh, some of the rangers came too close. No, he let them get too close and now they're shooting his artillery. Not what you want. Like this. Grombrindal still has some, 845 still has some units in reserve. Gunnery mobs are going to get a good volley here on the Dragonback Slayers. Nice flanking volleys here as well. And his cannon is dying, and that's pretty bad. Of course, in melee, the deckhands mobs don't stand it. They are going to buy some time for the artillery to do more work. Now the sirens are coming in. Yeah, the loss of this artillery really painful. Here, you kind of see the problem in this matchup. All the dwarf units have shields, and even if you're trading guns against bowmen, it seems that the rain is not really helping out either. It doesn't look like all of them are shooting. But I think rangers are actually taking this. Although the admiral is now also shooting. And the deck droppers into the flank, so past the shields. I still don't get like how wearing a shield on your back stops missile fire, but whatever. So gunnery mobs. I really like the flanking positions he set up here. Now the slayers are rushing up towards them. There's also a unit of Vanguard deployed Ekrund miners coming into the back here. Gunnery whites are doing what they can. Shoot Belagar. Maybe if they can kill him, get some of the pressure off, but look at these dwarf warriors. Coming straight in onto these carronades. That's gonna be 3 of the 4 carronades down already. Doom and Darkness came down, but it's Doom and Darkness on Slayers. And it's Soul Blight on Slayers, who don't have armor and who are unbreakable. So it's not the most effective use of a spell. I guess it did reduce their weapon damage. So flank is slowly coming in. Dragonback Slayers are reaching around. All the range is just getting shut down by the Slayers. And Sirens, of course, taking reduced damage, but also doing reduced damage, so it's not sting. So yeah, I was kind of surprised myself. Thinking the Vampire Coast could have a chance here, just out-artillerying everything. But yeah, this rush build is actually working against the 4 cannons. Yep, and H45 says GG, realizes he's been outpicked. And he made the most of his build with what he had, but I think if you want to play this style, you need more stuff to slow down the enemy coming towards you. But it's difficult for cannons to be very cost effective against, you know, in the end, pretty cheap units, and then the ones that aren't cheap, players are in a pretty loose formation. So, good idea there by Grombrindal to play like a tank versus the Undertaker, guys. In, cat is about to go away. Overlay, overlay. Okay, yeah, so as you can see, Skaven are a bit further away from the line, but this is a very small map, so it's Maybe tank doesn't know this, because he's definitely gone more artillery heavy, but we'll see. Vanguard deployed miners. It seems Grombrindal is going to do the same thing he did before, just not playing with artillery. Oh, actually, what am I saying? I'm saying not playing with artillery, and then I discovered 4 cannons. So 4 cannons, a Rune Lord with Master, Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Going to slow stuff down, of course. The 1 gyrocopter, I like that. Can be used to scout and chase units away. Dwarf warriors, 1 defending each cannon. Actually a 5th dwarf warrior as well, that's fine. 1 unit of iron breakers, very nice. Undertaker. I mean, on this map we can't. If just this deployment zone was a little bit more forward, it would be better. On this map, I don't think we can say much about him being close to the white line, because it's like map doesn't allow much else. There's always someone in chat saying overlay. I know. I was just waiting to load in to remove it. I'm paranoid. The game crashing. So they're instantly going to start shooting these miners. Skaven are. They are rushing forward, all these Skaven slaves, clan rats, double doom wheels, poison wind globadiers, 2 rattling guns, I believe. 2 warplock Giselles, 2 rattling guns. They of course want to remove these miners. Because the miners really, what they're gonna do is they're gonna chuck their blasting charges at these Skaven slaves, and it's going to pretty much delete the Skaven slaves, but it's only Skaven slaves, so it's actually not that bad. Oh man, look at all this firepower going down. Okay, blasting charges are being thrown onto the Skaven slaves as expected. I mean, I say it's only Skaven slaves, but you're still getting rid of 500 gold here, though. Which is something. Doom Wheel is going in. Oh, taking some big shots there from the Thunders. And yeah, these Poison Wind Globadiers have actually been meleeed. So it seems Tank is having a little issue here with his clan rats, who are not shielding his melee troops. And that's how he's losing some Poison Wind Globadiers and also the Warplock Giselles. And these Rattling Gunners were in melee as well. A bit of mismicro there, possibly. The Doom Wheel got slowed down and is getting destroyed. Other Doom Wheel has taken a lot of damage, and yeah, this isn't looking good for the Skaven so far. Skrulk is hiding out here. I'm just trying to see like what the Skaven can do at this point. They are shooting back. The dwarves with their 4 cannons and all these thunders seem to have more firepower. Thing is though, Skrulk is alive. And he has a lot of summons. But there's still a lot of dwarf warriors to stop those summons. What they're trying to do right now is actually taking out these cannons, which I think is the right call. If the cannons just keep firing, well, you're gonna lose all your ranged. Now some focus fire on the gyrocopter. And can you imagine like 4v4 all Skaven? That would melt anyone's graphics card. Gyrocopter is flying away. These dwarf warriors are running onto the rattling guns, but Doomwheel is being thrown in there. Deal with them. Warlock engineers now fighting, and more summons coming in. That's of course the strength. Lord Skrulk. 1 clan rat here engaging the dwarf warriors. Dwarf warriors will stand strong against that. But 3 cannons only have been taken offline. These units are pretty much untouched. Skaven ranged units are quite damaged. Yeah, it's actually a pretty close fight. Despite some things going wrong for the Skaven there early on. Ooh, they don't want to lose this Doom Wheel to this volley though. Well, it looks like they're shooting it themselves, but they're killing this unit of Dwarf Warriors. So the Dwarf Warriors are falling rapidly. Skrolk is in the back here, the Warlock Engineer and the Plague Monks fighting his infantry. Runelord is going to get a hold of this Warlock Engineer, and I think that's a fight Runelord wins. Doomwheel taking lots and lots of damage. And yeah, the Skaven shifting their focus to these melee units that are approaching them. Does look like the Skaven are running out of steam here. These Wartbuck Jezzails need to be brought back online. For sure. Rattling Gunners though, they are getting good damage and they also slow. These dwarves now have 17 speed. It's almost like poison but better. The suppression. I think it's 36% damage, speed reduction. Yeah, with that being said, so many Thunderers are standing, the cannons are standing. The Skaven are sort of shooting away their own chances here because you lose balance of power if you lose ammo. And now Skrolk is taking some big damage here, and that's gonna rout the Skaven. GG. So yeah, I think a bit miss micro there at the start with the clan rats not coming forward when possibly they should have. The first Doom Wheel was lost rather easily. So war firepower prevails. And I've said it before, guys, it's so difficult to face these kinds of builds. It's like a 20 stack of quality units. It's just so much value that you need to destroy. The overlay. You see here, Kelp and Coal Dust, one of the classic maps, were used in tournaments. Fought on it myself quite a bit. Nice little hill position here. And a nice little hill position here. I always think it's most exciting when the battle is fought out in this gorge. But usually what happens is both guys kind of going over here. There's the most space. We'll see if they do that. What are these tracks, by the way? Are those Beastman tracks? Do those look like Beastman tracks to you? They might be. Okay, no Beastman inside here though. We have Tank fighting to get the Equalizer with the Marauder frontline. No Regiment of Renown Marauders. He has 5 Marauder Hunter Javelins. Not surprised to see these because Tank was in chat some time ago talking about how great these units are. I thought they were over nerfed, but he still believes in them. 2 units of Skin Wolves. Marauder Berserkers, 1 unit of those. Actually 2 units of those. Trash that infantry, no doubt. Norskin Ice Wolves as well. We have Trog. Be worried about Trog getting a shot. But at the same time, which lord would you not be worried about, right? At least Trog has a lot of hit points. Regeneration. So Emir is here. With Burning Head, that's really good against Ghost Infantry. A Cascading Fire Cloak. Okay. Again, take a look at the lines. Seems he's far enough, yeah. He's going to use this terrain to some degree. Aeronade standing here. The Queen Bess, holy crap. And a Mortar. So, Grombrindal, man, the master of defensive geometry. That's what he is, because he knows. Let's put this Carronade over here, because he knows it can shoot this way. And the Mortars, they are obstructed by the hill. They will be able to shoot across this. We have Luther Harkin here. This little pistol. What is he bringing? Bring the slan gold, so can reduce the enemy casting potential. Hornswaggle. Big debuff on any enemy. Power Siphon. Make an enemy tired and increase his ability recharge. Very annoying if you're the greenskins. Death Shriek from the Terrorgeist, of course, and the Magical Void. Found a magic resistance. There's the Hunger. This guy has a lot of abilities. And extra powder, so if his ammunition is high, he actually deals more damage. So we get Piece of Tashnar jumping in here. It looked to me like they were going for this Carronade, but it seems they got caught on the Tide of Skjold. This side we have one Marauder trying to push in. He's getting some flanking fire on him from the Black Spot zombies. That Queen Bess is doing work. See the terrain here playing to Vampire Coast's advantage, because the Norskins, they sort of have to, instead of going straight at them, they kind of have to go around the hill. Marauders on this side are going to charge in on the deckhands mobs, but I think they're going to rout pretty quickly here. Here we see a Burning Head. This is the play that tank needs, but good reaction. The Undertaker dodging that Burning Head. Slow moving zombies. This zombie Pyron deckhand mob is going to take some damage from it at least, but for the most part that was dodged. Now the Norskins are starting to push in, but that Queen Bess, man, how many kills does it have already? 54. The 2 units here are routing just from that Queen Bess fire. And here comes the next shot. Here comes the next shot. That one wasn't so good. Okay. It's a lucky break. Vimir taking some damage. The Skin Wolves are in the front line there, and due to the narrowness of this choke, Grombrindal doesn't need to bring all of his units over. This is good though. I mean, Beasts of Tashnar, they're getting destroyed, but they at least managed to take out Carronade, so it's a little bit less cannon fire to contend with, which Trog is going to like a lot. And yeah, the Norskins are pushing in, guys. Taken massive losses so far, but they are pushing in. Here's another Burning Head. Aimed beautifully. Hitting the deckhands mobs. Going into these deckhands mobs. Look at the gunnery mobs. Bombers. They're gonna throw some bombs and not do as much damage as I thought, because they were only hitting the side of the unit there. Yeah, they're gonna get some more bombs, and that's going to be a problem. Because we also have Luthor Harkin here, dealing damage. Luthor, it's getting... Ooh, he might be in a bad spot. It's getting attacked by javelins and skin wolves. That's another Burning Head. But once again, it doesn't really connect well. The Undertaker has actually been doing a good job dodging them. But look at Luthor. Luthor is so low. He's cast an Invocation of Nehek on himself. Ah, but the Skin Wolf is terrified, so he's gonna get out. Ah, that's painful. Ymir is going to try to get a hit, but he's late, and he's now getting executed. These gunners, they've had enough of his casting burning skulls on him. So here we have Fleet Captain fighting in the front line against Trog. Luthor Harkin can't eat too many more of these javelins. Yeah, Queen Bess shooting almost unobstructed all battle. Up to 108 kills. A lot more hit point damage. Luthor is crumbling. That was the final shot from the Queen Bess, and it looks like Tank is dodging it. I think it's gonna land over here. No, it landed somewhere over here. Kinda surprised it didn't shoot the javelins. And so far, Tank is making his point about these Marauder Hunters. They've been doing a lot of work. Terrorgeist can dodge, but is it dodging every javelin? Not really. More bombs being thrown. The Queen Bess cannon crew even being sent into battle here. But there's still mortar shots coming in. The mortar is actually kind of inaccurate. Luthor, another Invocation of Nehek, going to heal itself and a couple of these units. Another summon is coming in. It's throwing a lot of damage into Throg. Looks like... just use a breath? Did he? I heard the breath sound, but not really... I didn't see the animation. It's almost like he tried it, but he got staggered and cancelled. Yeah, with that summon coming in, with still some units in the back here, with the mortar firing away, the Trog falling pretty low, it looks like the Norskins are running out of steam. Trying to regroup here, but they're still taking withering fire. Luthor Harkin is in the air. Still, now being a bit more heat to those volleys. They still have some breath attacks even. So, some Norskins though are fighting in the middle of the army here. Skin Wolves are taking out the Queen Bess crew, but that crew has already done its job. Oh, but this is a big holy javelins. Yeah, once this summon dies, it's gonna even up the balance of power a little bit again, but so far the summon is so much damage to Trog. Trog, if he survives, he could still heal for a lot. It's this mortar, man. It actually has more kills than the Queen Bess. Can you believe it? Oh, and Arkin. Big balls play. Diving down on Trog. Ending the battle. That's the Undertaker. 2-0 win. Playing his defensive artillery style twice. And doing so beautifully, really. Making great use of the terrain here on this map. And tank, I think with a good build, but he never really could push in as much as he would have liked. That was the problem. We got here just in time. See the deciding match. See, we'll take on the Undertaker in the final. Undertaker so far going through Achilles, H45, tank. That was his path to the final. Loop for Life has beaten Pharaoh. Scyther. It's now up against ChosenOne. Here we go with Marauder Horsemen and Horse Masters deployed up front. There's 6 in total, so he's kind of prepared against the kiting build. No Chaos Spawn. We do have a Chaos Knight with lances. And Sartorial the Everwatcher. This guy's really prepared against the kiting build, I think. Also has the one exalted hero here. Usually we see people opting for the cheaper Manticores, but big advantage of the exalted hero is of course that he does not rampage. He takes damage. The Mark of Corn on himself. Good. Let's encourage units. And he does not rampage, he also has better stats. Another Chaos Knight here. And Chaos Marauders, you know, typical cheap frontline. Will do well against those spears. And the Mirror Guard, which are a very popular unit. So yeah, this looks like an anti-kite build to me. Which it is to a degree, although ChosenOne doesn't seem to play full kite. He plays some kiting units with an infantry force behind them. Which I think is a good way of playing. Because it's like, you do some early damage, then people fight your infantry, and if your infantry falls, you can still fall back. Dark Riders. Really some shots going down here on the Chaos Knights with lances, you don't really want that. I believe a wand is coming in here. No, it is actually a Melkot's Mystifying Miasma, slowing this unit, also dealing decent damage to it. The Bolt Thrower is pressuring these Horse Masters, which are trying to skirmish. Now, the advantage, of course, here is that it's basically 2 for 1. 2 against 1. With the ranged units. This Marauder Horsemaster is getting caught. Oh no, is he? One of them got caught, but he has to run away now. That was close. Both players micro being taxed here, but it looks like Dark Riders maybe getting into a bit of a surround here. There is of course cavalry superiority for Chaos. And the problem is, once you start running away, you're getting javelins chucked into your back, while your Dark Riders need to turn around to shoot. Exalted Hero going to commit to this fight, but Morathi is right on top of him. And the Cold One Knights are here. Now the Wand is coming in. Rear guards. Damage. Marauder Horseman actually getting killed here. And yeah, that's 2 units routing. But Morathi, is she dying? No, she's getting away. And she is getting the Soul Stealer in there, hitting 4 units. So Sartorial will shrug this off, but the Exalted Hero, the Horsemasters and Chaos Knights will not. So still a lot of them left though. They're gonna need their ammo, I think, to take out the Shield of Santar. Take it down quickly, because other than the javelins, there's not really much to fight it. And now these Dark Riders have retreated to the safety of their infantry and can use their superior range to shoot these Marauder Horsemasters. One Marauder Horsemaster got stuck in melee. This Chaos Knight now starting to run. We go around the side here. The Bolter were still firing away. This Chaos Knight we just finished facing something off, or chasing something off. And Sartorial is kind of by himself here. But I mean, if he drops a final transmutation right here, right now, that's going to hurt a lot. I think ChosenOne realizes this and is starting to split up his units. And Sartorial, well micro-tear, flying into these Dark Riders who are in melee, which they of course don't really enjoy. And now the Mirror Guard are coming in on the Hargonnet Executioners, but look on the right flank. The Marauders are just getting eaten up, also with the Murderous Prowess coming in right now. It looks like, of course, with Morathi's debuffs being at play, it's becoming very difficult for the Chaos units to win any sort of engagement. Good one of Caradon and a Soul Stealer on this entire blob. Oh my god. That is doing so much. Morathi really paying off here. More units are coming around and wrapping around soon. Chaos is in a bit of trouble here, I would say. Sartorial is still doing what he can. Can maybe get some AoE damage in himself with a potential final transmutation. Yeah, it seems he's taking too much damage on his Marauder Horseman. That his infantry, of course, just isn't doing much against this elite infantry. Boltrower now being attacked by Sartorial, but the Chill of Santar wants to have a word with him. And it gets a big bite on the Ever Chicken there. Now Morathi is there as well, dropping those stats, making him weaker. Not sure why Sartorial would at all be impressed by Morathi's enchanting beauty. He probably likes looking at pictures of peacocks instead. But, he is suffering from that debuff and he is getting killed here. Nothing to kill the chill auto loss. I mean, he does have Plague of Rust and he has these horsemen, so in theory he could get enough damage on it. But he didn't really manage to get enough damage on it. The battle looked pretty good at the start there, but the Chaos Knights really did not pay off. It was difficult to find a good place for them. So much anti-large on the field and so much armor piercing on the field. Morathi with her auras really made the difference there, and the Soul Stealer and the Wand of the Caradon. Very good usage of her there. I like the initial approach Chaos had there. They were fighting off the skirmisher force without too much trouble. But once the actual melee started, they had a lot of trouble. You can see what happened against the Hargonnet Executioners in a black card just by looking at the kills. This is the semi-final vessels. Winner of this. Actually, ChosenOne is the winner. This was 1-1, so now we're going on to the finals. ChosenOne versus TheUndertaker. Okay, first map of the finals, Doom Reach. Here we go. Dwarves could make a box in the forest here. Let's hope they don't do that. Overlay. Here we go. So Doom Reach. We have a strange map with this trench running through the middle. Big forest on the side. Not the flat, straight maps we're used to. Which are usually the ones players prefer, because then of course terrain doesn't interfere with any of your plans, but you know, I do think having maps with terrain sprinkled into the map pool leads to more interesting games. One of the things I'll try is make very balanced map pool. It's like one map with terrain, one flat map that's pretty big, and then maybe one flat map that's pretty small for every best of 3. Nice mix for the finals as well. In this tournament I kind of just threw in all the maps that I wanted to see being played, because I didn't know them really well yet. Okay, so what are we getting? I think this is the build. Yes. Same build. Played against me, although I think he had 1 less Iron Drake. 2 Iron Drakes, flamethrowers, Trollhammer torpedoes, 3 Trollhammer torpedoes. No, this is not the build he played against me. Something similar though. Slayers, 2 units. Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. No, it's definitely not the build because he had Thunders, yeah. But I saw the Rune Lord on the altar and I was like, oh yeah, this is the same build, but it's not. It's a Rune Lord. Rune Lord, what do you got? It's Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin and Forge Fire, going to give allies in range more armor-piercing damage. The Locus of Power. Allies in range get 15% magic resistance. That explains, now that I think about it, why my what's that spell called? Why my Brain Busters weren't doing much damage. I was like, man, these Brain Busters are doing a little damage, but it's because of this Rune Lord. Now I get it. It's a different build, but he did bring the Rune Lord against me as well. And that time, that guy remained on 9 hit points. By the way, guys, the Greenskin build is freaking awesome. Look at this. We have Nasty Skulkers, rank 6, or no, 5. The back here, Night Goblin Squighoppers, also in the back. 8 big loonies with more Nasty Skulkers deployed up front. Turkid Swigs in the back here. Thief Robbers are even here. And a whole bunch of Squigs. 5 Squig herd. It's a big Squig army with Nasty Skulkers sprinkled in. Not a single Black Orc in sight. Gobbos, gobbos, gobbos. 1 Orc though. Azak with the Purple Son of Xerius. So this spell, even though there's gonna be 40% damage reduction, might still do quite a bit. And he has a Spirit Leech as well. And that's not going to do too much, I think. But you know what? If I had a Spirit Leech, that Rune Lord would not have stayed on 9 hit points, it would have actually died. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Because this Dwarf army... I mean, I'm not sure if it's gonna hold. Very compact. If the Greenskins timed this right with their Squig. I was afraid we were getting lag for a second there. Even the Warlord's boys are here. If they like surround the the dwarves, In charge from all sides with the Wa. It's gonna be pretty good. I think Grombrindal is realizing that this is no standard army. I mean, you realize that instantly, of course, but you might even realize that ChosenOne is trying to encircle him. He's going forward. ChosenOne is positioning. He doesn't want this infantry battle to start yet. It will take a long time for these nasty skulkers to get over here. He's repositioning right now. The dwarves, they're going to the top of this hill, and they might actually stay there. This is a bit of an awkward situation, because it might feel to Grombrindal like all the greenskins are doing is running away. Of course, this is part of tactical positioning. He's trying to get his units in from the back. He's trying to complete the encirclement. One thing he does have to pay attention to is that he doesn't use spells and then runs away, because that's actually against the rules. Because I think, especially against dwarves, if you could spend your entire mana pool before engaging, or just in general, like spend your entire mana pool before really engaging, that seems a bit abusive. I used to do that, so I know that's abusive. Used to do that on ladder, by the way. Not in tournaments. The dwarves trying to connect here. Maybe... Oh, a couple shots coming in from the thief robbers. So maybe what ChosenOne is thinking is like, I gotta make these guys chase me. And it'll be more vulnerable. I would be quite worried here if I were Grombrindal, because these Iron Drakes, what are they really good against here? He's probably wishing he had more Slayers. He does have 2 though. Slayers are pretty good against this. Lots and lots of large stuff. Now the engagements are starting. Nasty skulkers. Getting some trollhammer shots on them. 7 are dead already. Shot didn't do much. We're going into the dwarf warriors with great weapons, and man, that was a downhill charge and they got completely wrecked. They're not really a frontline unit. They are good though if they start winning. Then they gain more melee attack and they start winning harder. And here comes the Wa. And the squigs are trying to go straight in. Attacking these miners with blasting charges. Now attacking the troll hammers. And more squigs are coming in. And as long as the Wa is active, this is going to be so much damage. Of course, squigs need to be cycled because they have good charges. Don't really have good... Oh, purple sun is coming. Is it going to kill that Slayer? And it stayed on top of the Slayer a pretty long time. That was good damage. But it would have been 15% more damage if not for Rune Lord. So far, it looks like the plan is actually working. The backline has been compromised. The formation has fallen apart. But I think what we need to see here from the greenskins is more cycling of the squigs. Like these squigs right here. Could probably turn around, do some more charges. Because the thing about squigs, their biggest strength, both riders and regular squigs, is they have very good animations to cycle charge quickly. But it's a lot of units to control, so we shouldn't be too harsh on friend ChosenOne here. Okay, good charge by Azag, but he has to be careful because the Slayers are coming for him right now. He's getting some fire. Ooh. He's getting shot in the face by trollhammers. But Chariot is trying to save him. And the Rune Lord, like, faster, carry me faster. I want to hit that war boss. But here's another purple sun. Ah, and that one actually does more thief robbers to the squig hoppers, I think. But yeah, it's working. This crazy build is working. Look, actually pushing it on the side here. And Killing those Iron Drakes. Killing a lot of the Iron Drakes, actually. This is a bit of a cheese build, I would say. And by cheese, I don't mean like the negative connotation of him playing something that's stupid or silly. But it's cheese in the sense of you're kind of relying on a very extreme army pick, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that, because it's actually smart. Because what do dwarves prepare against? Black orcs. That's why as all those troll hammers, they do good damage to black orcs. But there's not a single black orc. There's so much mobility. So you shut down all that range. So this is working out beautifully, and this is like doing the WoW proud, man. So many squigs. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I meant when I meant cheese, when it's like you rely super heavily on the army pick. It's like an army that requires a specific counter. But once again, that's just strategy. That's knowing the macro of this game. So no negative connotation. Before anyone goes and says, I can call it a cheese build. Yes, that's not really what I did. Just to be clear. It was awesome. Replay of the month, guys. Squig's going ham. But on my screen, it told me ChosenOne still had 1100 gold to spend. But maybe that's just a visual bug. It would be really unfortunate if he forgot to spend over 1k of his gold. I don't think that's possible. No way that actually happened. Isn't this map in the quick battle map pool? I think it is. Yeah, it is. I remember playing on it. Overlay. Some forests, some hills and stuff. Little bridge here that you can send troops across. Never mind, this is impassable terrain. What's in the distance here? It's a tour of Luster. Look at all the detail. They have like a whole sunken ruin here. And very few assets. I mean, of course some get reused, like the temples and stuff. Makes sense for the temples to look the same. Everything looks so unique. Okay. The High Elf army. I'll look at... Oh, actually. Look at the High Elf army first. You have the one bolt thrower. Have some ranked up spearmen. Also need to remember to tell these guys at different time. 2 Sisters of Avalorn, Storm Riders, the Pure Main Company, White Lions. Is that a Lethanar? It's a Lethanar, really. Boy. Get him, guys. Look how glorious he is. What is a Lethanar going to do? Has the Moonbow. Try to snipe something, I guess enemy artillery. Mislead. Create a mirror image of himself. Slippery. Dark in the sky, so reload skill for the units surrounding him. Really good, I think. Here we have the Mage of Shadows. Is that just a Penumbral Pendulum? Yeah, just Penumbral Pendulum. But this looks to me like a build that's prepared against the blob. Lots of spears and something that can punish the blob, I think. I'm pretty sure Pendulum does that. Sisters of Avalorn. But ChosenOne himself is going to try and play defensively, and this is the problem. The mortar is bad at winning artillery battles. It also has the same range, so it's not like force him forward purely from range. So the Empire will probably be the faction that's forced forward here. Riders deployed out front. Silver bullets. Spearmen with shields. Unit of rank 3 greatswords. Sigmar Sons, a staple of many Empire builds, of course. Empire Knights deployed in the forest here. And we do have Karl Franz. We'll auto Griffites with the Jade Wizard and Halberdiers. So this build is sort of a mix of everything, in my opinion. There's some infantry, some cavalry, some demis, some skirmishers. Does have Karl Franz. What that leads to is an army with a lot of tools. But shot. An army with a lot of tools. But they do have some halberdiers here as well. You know, this could be smart. I mean, there is no large here. It's Grombrindal. Who are we kidding? But so long as you keep the halberdiers with the demis, you could go for like what's happening? He's moving forward. I don't know if he knows, but he can actually... Oh no, it's the Eagle Bolt Thrower, I think. Maybe it simply isn't able to fire. No, it is able to fire. So why is he abandoning this position? I'm confused, chat. Like, you would think that he could kill the mortar with his bolt thrower and just maintain his position. Use Alethanar for that as well. But maybe he wants to claim the high ground here. Ooh, that pendulum though. Wasn't dodged, wasn't spotted on time. Good damage on Sigmar Sons. And the Spearman with shields. What Grombrindal is doing here is a bit dangerous because the enemy does have artillery advantage. Oh, Outriders about to get destroyed. What's happening? ChosenOne, are you still in this game? I mean, it seems we're saying he was hungry earlier. Maybe fatigue is getting to him. That's something you also got to consider, by the way, guys. Whenever you watch a final, players are tired. Like, tournaments take a long time. There's not always a lot of time to take breaks in between. So it's definitely something to consider. But Karl is coming in here, attacking the Mage of Shadows. Empire Knights are going to find a nice opportunity here. Attack the Sisters of Avalorn. Insert obligatory joke about rear charges. Yeah, that was good damage, but not that many of them died. I guess those spells do come in handy, but whoa, what happened to Franz? I look away 1 second and he's almost dead. He does have a regrowth though, so he's gonna be fine. Fine, just fine. His infantry is fighting uphill, but look. The sisters are all dying. That's what can happen if you don't have artillery. And after a bit of a shaky start, it seems ChosenOne is taking command of this battle. Franz has soaked a lot of damage, but he's back up to full. It was Alethanar shooting at him that did it. He's not back to full, but it's getting close. Now, ooh, this is gonna be a big downhill charge. MVP Empire Knights going at it again. Look at this.
By the comet! Lucas's head flew by me!
Some Sisters of Avalorn are getting some revenge though. I don't know what that folly was, but they were hitting these guys in the back. Yeah, now these guys who were... Oh, look, they're all getting routed. That is so big. All the infantry who were fighting a fight they would win, now getting destroyed by that rear charge. So good positioning here on the silver bullets. France is going to rout the remaining units. And that's pretty much it. I mean, Where do you go from here if you're the High Elves? You lost your biggest damage dealers, you lost your Eagle Claw Bolter, and I just don't understand why Grombrindal, who is so known for playing defensively and playing defensively well, was so aggressive because of one mortar. It must have been something with the terrain. Because I think Alethanar can snipe the mortar with his abilities. Or at least kill one piece, and then Eagle Claw Bolter can take out other models on it, I think. Ah, and that shot misses from Alethanar. That's really painful. That's why I don't like such lords. Like, you throw one massive punch at your enemy, and if it hits, you win, and if you lose, or if you miss, you lose. This would be a good time for him. Nice mortar shell there. This would be a good time for him to use his mirror image. Alethanar actually able to shoot some rounds into Karl Franz. Point blank range. It's not enough. It says GG map. So I think it may have been the bolt thrower not being able to shoot because of this hill in the middle here. It caused him to move forward. It's gonna be 2-0 now. Yeah, this is really a match that's won by mobility advantage. In this case, there were no holding troops, no net, no nothing. That's a 2-0. Now we're going to battle for Itza. And it's up to Grombrindal to do a reverse sweep here. Look at these kills on the silver bullets. They were getting flanking shots all game. You guys are up here, chat. These are your spectators. Slots. Look, can even go inside. Look down. Oh man, there's almost no catering here. Okay, the seats aren't the best, but and you might even fall to your death, but you gotta make do, chat. The floating pyramids, they're siphoning magic to these. Or maybe it's the other way around and these are generating the energy that keeps these pyramids floating. But whatever. Let's see. So I'd say this map is pretty balanced as well. Looks that way. This is probably the kind of terrain that just crumbles as soon as someone touches it. Okay. TheUndertaker. He's on his last life here. In the coast. It's the Tomb Kings. The Porter. And the Queen Bess. Tide of Skulls. Zombie Pirate Deckhands Mob. More Deckhands Mob. Polar Mob. Gunnery Mobs. 4 Gunnery Mobs. Black Spot Zombie. Handgun Mob. 3 in total. These gunners. They have... Actually, they all have the more powder. What is special about these guys? Is it the anti-large weapon strength? Yeah, they're like a crappy spearman unit. In addition to being gunners. Okay. Nice regiment of renown. The pirate gunnery mobs. Guthor Harkon. Kind of the same build or a similar build he played against Norska earlier. Fire fleet of captains. Vampire captain of vampires, sorry. Been a long cast for me as well. With the taunt, that's actually really good. Although dropping armor is not such a big deal when you have this much armor piercing. Invocation of the Heck. Now, there's a problem for the coast here, guys. There's 2 Ushabti bowmen. And there's nothing really to shoot them. I don't think the Queen Bess can shoot them. I don't think Mortar can. Usually I think Ushabti bowmen would be a big risk if there's like carronades and stuff. But these guys could run up and snipe that Queen Bess. There's also 5 archers, which is something I also bring. In terms of infantry, skeleton warriors mixed in with guard and even some Neakara warriors. Probably a budget choice there. Magic, Lich Priest of Light. With the net, it's gonna be great against Luthor Harken. Been very impressed actually with ChosenOne's build so far. So the Curse of Khazar, well that only activates if he takes load. Rolls of mighty incantations. He's gonna pop that at some point while being surrounded by his own units, I guess. Okay, Queen Bess, how much can it do against these Ushabti? Really, it's once again not an ideal tactical situation. You see that shot? Didn't do much against the Ushabti. And Queen Bess is going to be attacked. And these guys are going to be in range. When they're coming in range, and once they're in range, they can destroy the Queen Bess. Oh no, my Luthor is flying straight into the net. What are you doing, Luthor? He's gonna dodge the net, or there's gonna be no net. But yeah, these shots, of course. Oof! Did you see that? 1 shot, 1 kill. 1 unit kill. But so Queen Bess taking fire, and it's gonna explode at any minute here, guys. So Grombrindal is realizing this now and pushing out his line is once again not really the situation he wants. You could put in Invocation of Nehek on the Queen Bess, but I don't think it heals the actual artillery model. People who actually play Coast may correct me on that, but I think it only heals the gunners themselves. And there it goes, the Queen Bess is down. It got an awesome hit there. I think it may have been able to fire a final shot. Yep, we saw it there, unless that was just a mortar shot. That is a big loss, and now they have to face superior infantry. With these crappy deckhand mobs. All of them are surging forward, trying to protect the mortar, which is of course hugely valuable. Mortars could still do a lot against these archers. See that, with their pretty crappy leadership and thick formations, all it takes is a couple shots to deal with them. But Luthor has to be really careful. Where is the Light Wizard now? Where is he? Oh, he's over here. He's gonna get the net, and I think a couple of archers are going to turn around right now. Start shooting at Luthor. He's also receiving an upgraded Spirit Leech on him. From Arkan the Black, and oh my god. Get the damage. Get the damage. This is not good. Nice bread there. Killing that Lich Priest. Well, half of it. And how are the front lines looking? Well, of course, Tomb Guard and Skeleton Warriors are going to win against deckhands. Luthor at least manages to escape with his life. I think that was sort of a panic click there, because he used an upgraded invocation, which was only used to heal himself. Mortar's still firing away though, that's pretty good. And these bombers are in combat now, not throwing their bombs. Gunnery mobs are coming back. The pirate gunnery mobs have been summoned, I think. Didn't see them back there before, so I think these are summons from Luthor. Yes, these are summons. They're being sent in to reinforce that line. And you know what? A lot of these archers are dying. Usually it's really the archers that do the damage against all of these crappy troops that don't have shields or armor. But right now a lot of these archers are dying, and Grombrindal is doing a good job positioning his guns, able to fire from this hill into units that even have units of him in between. Very good positioning on the guns there. But the Nekara horsemen, warriors, are getting through, and they're now getting focused, so good use of these guns. Man, look at the way Grombrindal has positioned his guns. This battle hasn't gone exactly according to plan, but the positioning of the guns, concave he's formed, that is really good. It's getting good value from these. Not getting them obstructed by his own troops. Yeah, they will actually finish off these archers. Oh, but there's a skeleton warrior. Now the extra stats from the black spot zombies is going to come in handy. It looked like Arkan was going to take a volley to the face there, but then he does the cheeky skeleton summon, which is actually pretty strong because that's 150 skeletons, guys. Carrion are going to get killed. As long as this mortar is alive, we can make up for infantry fight not really going his way. Like, look, another big kill. We saw the mortar getting a good kill, or a good amount of kills, more than the Queen Bess when he was playing against Norska. Now, well, obviously it's doing that Queen Bess as well. I'm not sure what the Ushapti have been doing during this time, but maybe he should have been killing this mortar as well. Luther Arkan again netted, shot by Ushapti. But the accuracy of these bowmen not quite enough. It's actually quite incredible how close this battle still is, considering how little value the Queen Bess got, where it was killed. Another summon is coming in onto Arkan, for us to keep flying away. And that was his last summon, but Arkan is going to have more. Still has the Ushapti as well, which might make all the difference. I think this is kind of where he needs to go for the kill on Arkan. I think he has no chance unless he kills him. I think ChosenOne also realizes this. That's why he's running away. Arkan so much. And here comes a Brett, but it's going to mostly miss. Nice dodge there. Luthor is dropping low himself. And if he lands... Ushapti... Oh, another Brett so soon? The cooldown on Terrorgeist Bretts isn't that low. That's strange. It's like there was some sort of glitch there. Or maybe he has a special Terrorgeist. So yeah, he's trying to find an opportunity to charge here and finish Arkan off. But he knows if he lands, he's gonna be trapped by those Ushapti. This is a very nice back and forth here. Real micro battle between these guys. But you know what? Zombie Pirate Gunnery Mob is here. Oh, is he summoning more... skeletons? No, it's Taunt. So less melee defense. If was ever a time to go in, it's now. Now or never. So there's another Spirit Leech. He's playing it safely. Now he's going in. Oh, but the Taunt wore off. And I think Arkan is dying, but Luthor may be dying as well. He still has regen. Arkan is dead. Arkan is dead, guys. What does that leave us with? I think that leaves us with a very dead Tomb Kings faction. And a game number 4. Unless Luthor still dies somehow. And I'm very impressed that it's even gotten to this point. Yeah, Luthor is still regenerating, so... unless the final shot of the Ushapti can kill them. I think it's too late. I think it's too late. How did they do this? Must have been the mortar. Like the Queen Bess underperformed, but the mortar overperformed. Careful, don't shoot your own lord. He's already having a hard time. Last shots, last shots. Most of them hit him. He's wavering again, and more shots, but they miss. How close is this battle? How close is this battle, guys? Another shot, and he's still regenerating. There's still ammo as well. But I wouldn't be very surprised if they manage to snipe him. I mean, they're getting hits. Are getting hits. Luthor, man, he's actually reached the ceiling. Has he reached the ceiling cap? No, he hasn't reached the ceiling cap. What a close fight. Oh my god. What a battle. I thought when I saw those Ushapti, Queen Bess is gonna die. There's gonna be no value here. And that's gonna be it. But I guess... Where is the Queen Bess? Oh, it's here. I guess it's still got a decent amount of kills. The Ushapti didn't have great targets. And I underestimated the infantry, I guess. Like, infantry battle wasn't as one-sided as I thought. Of course, massive value from Luthor, Vampire Fleet Captain. What a comeback after losing the Queen Bess. Was it 2-1, guys? We have a series. Skaven against the Tomb Kings. And that win had to give Grombrindal confidence, because I'm pretty sure if you lose your Queen Bess like that, at that point you're thinking like, oh man, just lost a 2k unit. When he's starting to type in caps again, that's usually a good sign. I just lost a 2k unit. Which didn't do that much. And then you managed to bring it back. Like, there were moments in that battle like that. So, the Skaven, they moving up. And the Tomb Kings kind of moved out themselves. But they luckily stopped, because of course you don't just want to rush out from this position. Expose yourself. These Bone Giants are firing away. They have done a lot of damage already. To Skrolk as well. And they're able to see this, the sharpshooters now, so they're shooting at them. So far this looks to be going alright. Because already the Skaven are suffering. The Lord is Arkan. He should be wary of getting too close to Skrolk. He doesn't want that. Look, sneaky movement here. Clan Red Spears getting the Blessed Legion of Pahact. And Scorpion Legion coming into support now. Look, a lot of these Skeleton Archers are being taken offline. So that's a definite comeback for the Skaven, who were not getting the best of that early game. So units have to retreat now. Skrolk is gonna start dropping some summons. And the Teeth Breakers are starting to shoot into this Bone Giant, which is quite nasty. Yeah, summons coming in. Tomb King suddenly under a lot of pressure. We have some Skeleton Horsemen here, but the Rat Ogres are still, you know, free to deal with them. This Bone Giant will probably have to pull back quite a bit out of range. This Bone Giant isn't doing anything. And Arkan is actually fighting this Assassin. He got in very close. Both Lords are kind of falling low, but I think Arkan will fall low faster. Oh no! A Bone Giant just shot Skrolk. Oh, if they can get one more shot on him and finish him off. He's already routing. Is the Skeleton Horseman alive? Because this is where the Skeleton Horseman can get a lot of value. Man, another shot. And another one. Man, he's just sniping Skrolk. But he has to finish him off though. And I think an overcast Spirit Leech just to accomplish that might be worth it right now. Because it's so many summons gone. It's so much leadership gone. Is he gonna get him? Nope. That one didn't hit. Would have been 3 in a row. Skrolk now protected by the terrain, able to get away. But are we gonna get the Spirit Leech? Or is Arkan gonna do the economical play? Just rush after him. Take him out. No, he takes what I think is the smart and certain play, which is getting the Spirit Leech in there. And that should be enough to kill him. Yep, Skrolk gone. Usually Skrolk gone means Skaven gone, especially against an undead faction. But we'll see. They still have some Rat Ogres, but there's no way. Right now there's no way. You still need to kill 2 Bone Giants. Not gonna happen. Yeah, the Bone Giants just sniping Skrolk there. Man, I didn't see that coming. That's some serious sniping accuracy from these guys. And it looks like we're looking at an equalizer in a game 5 here. Could be the reverse sweep. For Grombrindal. The Undertaker. It's not over yet though. I mean, balance of power still indicates things being rather equal. Summon is going to die. Sneakara Horseman though, going to get an attack on the sharpshooters. Ashen Triads are coming in. I mean, maybe I'm getting too excited for a game 5. Because there are actually quite a few Skaven coming in still. These are mostly ranged troops, so they're not going to do that well. Maybe the Terror will carry them. Arkin, if you have a summon, this would be a good time to drop it. You can see, once Skrolk is gone, leadership starts to really suffer from that. One thing the Skaven do have going for them is, though, they still have this Assassin. Assassin has encouragement, and that 3 leadership may just be what they need to make the difference. Nice Spirit Leech here, quite effective at routing these Rat Ogres. Now Ashen Triads coming in, and they're using their concealment bombs, but Grombrindal is just like, you know what, let's just attack them in melee. And I'm not sure that's the best choice, because they are anti-large, they are armor piercing, so it's not a good fight. But he's relying on the fear to get rid of them. More shots coming in. I think these Chosen of the Gods are dead. Oh, and if this Assassin can kill Arkin, nope. Bone Giant says no. Like, anytime you think the Skaven have something going for them in this fight, it's like a shot from a Bone Giant suddenly comes in. It's like, nope, you can't have a hero, you can't have a lord. These Bone Giants, man. For a time they were total meme units. I never thought they were that bad, but it seems, yeah, with that pinpoint accuracy, they definitely have a role. And there isn't even anyone here to heal them. There was no Necrotect. Now the Summon came in. Summon gonna be doing a lot, as these units keep getting terrified over and over and over. Still a full unit here. Teeth Breakers, they're very low. Chosen of the Gods are dying. Arkin is still alive. Means more skeletons in the near future. The Bone Giants, they're not that good in melee, guys. 31, 26. They do have 400 weapon strength, but I remember killing them once with just spears and flagellants, so it's really not as impressive as it looks on paper. Arkin keeping these Skaven slave spears routing. I mean, at this stage in the battle, every unit counts. But really, his strength here is his Bone Giant. He gathers around it. The Terror keep most units off his back, I think. But the Teeth Breakers are coming back. Coming back, guys. They could be what wins this game in this battle. Nope, they shattered. Suddenly everything's running away. And it's gonna be army losses pretty soon here. And what fights we have seen between these two players. It's once again so close. First 2 battles weren't that close, to be honest. Looked like ChosenOne was on the way to a 3-0. But TheUndertaker doesn't give up. Real fighting spirit here. More Skaven are coming in, but I expect they will keep running away from this Bone Giant. Unless, like, you see they come in, they run away. Unless Arkin stupidly dies in some stupid way. The Bone Giant should be able to terrify whatever's left here. Nice series indeed. Players have shown us great games. Another shot from the Bone Giant, man. This guy is such an MVP. His brother died. But he did what he could. And especially that snipe on the assassin, that was so good. Sorry about the overlay. It happens. Remove it next time. Which is the final battle anyway. Yeah, this was a good build, and I like how both players tried to take advantage of the map, but ChosenOne pretty quickly realized, oh, he has 2 Bone Giants, it's time to attack. Imagine these Bone Giants with Khalida, who gives bonuses to ranged units. It might be total overkill, but something worth thinking about. And then a Necrotech to actually heal them, give them some buffs. You'd have to take some stuff out of the army though, and we did see there that he ended up needing every one of his units, most of them. So here we have a nice map. Some terrain, this rippling sand, but it's mostly flat. This time means less incentive to draw out the game, so I hate 9 to 40-minute timers. Yes, it's not good. It's basically when you don't know what to do and there is a draw. Want to avoid it at all costs. But if someone is draw kiting, you just disqualify them. So why do you need to have a timer to stop draw kiting? Makes sense. Cold One Knights, 4 of them. Onesh's Harvesters. So this is very much a anti-cavalry build. Not a very offensive build with 4 Dread Spears, Witch Elves, Old Fiends. Surprised to see them. Alakid on foot. Is he really on foot? No, he's on a cold one. We saw that once earlier today. Still a good option. No terror in this army though. Gaze of Malice, stand your ground. Stealer, just all Stealer? Destroyer. Iron. Team Spell Shield, so gonna decrease the enemy power reserves, limit the healing available or other spells. Grombrindal, man. The Undertaker. They make the reverse sweep happen. Would be very impressive. Of course, both players. So, it's the Dark Elves with a lot of cavalry against the High Elves with only 1 cavalry unit. 3 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. Modern Seaguard with shields. 1 Sister of Avalorn and 2 regular archers. Have more, well, they don't have more infantry. Actually have, well, I could say 5.5 infantry against 6 of the Dark Elves. They're gonna have to do some good early damage here because I don't think there's any way they're stopping all of this cavalry getting to their bolt throwers. I mean, I might be wrong, but it's 5 cavalry units, you only have 1 of your own. This backline is gonna be rather exposed, I think. Ariel has their typical spells, fast protection, Earthblood. No Tempest, that's actually a good thing for the Undertaker because there are no flying units on this side, so this Tempest is useless. It would have been really good if Malekith came in on his dragon and just got shot. Not gonna happen now. Give of Avalorn, Star of Avalorn. Yeah. This time I would say the Undertaker won the dice roll, more or less. I think. For all I know, all his cavalry might just be dead to the bolt throwers by the time they get there. Using the multi-shot, more chance to hit something, less damage though. Or anti-infantry. Infantry battle, it's gonna be close actually. With the Bolt Fiend support, the Dark Elves might even win that. Yeah, these bolt throwers, they need to do work. High Elves about to get clapped. It is possible. It is possible, but the question is how much damage can all these ranged units do? You can see this Witch Elf is already melting. I don't think they should run in like this. This Witch Elf is gonna die if it doesn't retreat soon. It's just sending it straight in. Like, yeah, they have dodge. They'll be fine. There's Harvesters here. So good range damage. I mean, something has to die to all this range, though. It's impossible to get close without losing something. Now they're charging into the spears. The spears are actually rampaging. silver... Oh, the dragon princes are also here. Oh, and look here, they found an opening. Gold One Knights found an opening, but they have to get re-microed. Yes, beautiful. Onto this, but cavalry battle on this flank actually being won, with the Star of Avalorn also being there. So, of course, the right wing, or right flank is more exposed. The backline is now crumbling with the Gold One Knights dying here. But I don't think these units are going to be back. They're close to the edge of the line, so they're gonna get chased off. So that's actually a pretty big win. The Gaze of Malice comes in. Bolt Fiends have yet to start doing damage. Malekith is fighting that noble. Yeah, the Bolt Throwers are getting taken out, but at the same time, there's so many units here that even though they're kind of crappy units, the Gold One Knights, I mean in the melee they're crappy units, Gold One Knights are having a bit of trouble killing them, but good micro here, I think. Yes, Gold One Knights being micro fast, these guys, and now Murderous Prowess hits while almost everything is in combat, so that's pretty big, and that noble is not having a good time against Malekith. The backline compromised, but frontline looks like it will soon be going towards the High Elves. Like this Dread Spear will lose, this White Lions will win, Spear will win, although this fight is going to take a long time. So yeah, healing might still pull out to win here, because the cavalry, while, you know, being more numerous, is not being used optimally. Like this cavalry was actually stuck on the spears for a pretty long time. So it looks to me, like with the healing here, the High Elves are actually stabilizing, because their Bolt Throwers are coming back online as well. Most of the Dark Elf cavalry is dead. And the Bolt Fiends haven't really been able to do enough. Witch Elves doing what they can. They will rampage this unit, it's something, but will also rout quite quickly. Yeah, it looks, guys, like the High Elves are stabilizing. Just remember, there's going to be more healing, while the Dark Elves can only heal Malekith. What is Malekith doing right now? He's fighting spears. He's kind of surrounded by them as well. Gold One Knights, they're charging, taking a Bolt Thrower offline. Very good. Gaze of Malice here, doing good damage on the Sisters of Avalorn. He's 10 Gold One Knights, man. Oh, and the Witch Elves on this side returned. Snacking on those archers. Oh man, this is such a close fight. I can't tell which way it's gonna go. Bolt Fiends, they're super important right now. They're like the biggest damage dealer that's left, but ChosenOne realizes that. He's sending in the White Lions after them. Still has some Dragon Princes. Ooh. Dragon Princes right now with no more opposition. There's one Cold One Knight here. Bolt Fiends are getting caught, and the Dark Elves cannot afford this. The cavalry has to come rescue them. Malekith, he's just fighting spearmen, which is not exactly ideal. What else can he do? Even if the Bolt Fiends come back online, there are quite a few archers currently shooting, and not a whole lot to interrupt them anymore. Oh, Alariel has been rampaged, but she's going to be fine. The noble comes to her rescue. And Malekith, it almost looks like that first battle we casted there, or one of the first. Cider at the end. Only had Malekith left, because it's kind of how this is going. It's still pretty equal, but it's a lot of High Elves. 296 against very few Dark Elves, just 173 and falling. And I think I only saw one star being used, guys. I think there is still one star. If all of this stuff heals under the star, then what? Oh, there won't be a star if Alariel gets routed. Big hit. Big hit by Malekith there. But he's not gonna get another one. Now he's stuck, and his spears are rushing over. Ariel is doing something. Oh, that's the Soul Stealer. But that's also the Star of Avalorn. But the Star of Avalorn is not healing the noble. Or Alariel. ChosenOne. That would have been so good, healing those two units. Okay, he's gonna heal them now. Still getting some value out of it. And right now, every hit point counts. Malekith. Does he have... No, he doesn't. He just cast the Soul Stealer. He can't have another one so soon. And an Earthblood, and yeah, the healing is pulling through, guys. The healing is pulling through. Malekith is trying what he can to get rid of Alariel, but some free damage in the process, and the only thing that's left for him is to try and fight this out by himself. Imagine if... What's this? Stand your ground. Pass protection on the noble. And Malekith is dying. And despite what looked like a very good setup, and a very nice comeback, ChosenOne takes the series and the tournament in the end. Amazing comeback. Grombrindal, Undertaker. ChosenOne does snatch the win from the jaws of defeat. The build that looked like it wasn't going to work, but in the end, I guess the cavalry advantage didn't pan out as much as we thought it would. Maybe, I mean, of course you don't know you're gonna face two bolt throwers or 3 bolt throwers. 2 Dark Riders could have probably cleaned them up faster than 1 Cold, 1 Night, which was kind of overkilling them. Hungry as fuck, so I'll just go. ChosenOne is going. Brindle, 2nd place. A good run. ChosenOne, I kind of felt like the momentum had turned against him, so I was a little bit surprised. Especially when seeing the builds that he still managed to win that. Man, that was a great final. It looked so one-sided, and then it got a lot more exciting soon. What am I doing? Doing the score. For some reason, challenge isn't doing it. Oh yeah. Here we go. 1-0, 2-0. 1, 2, 3-2. Very end there. Very exciting. So guys, let's end the tournament. Click the button. Challenge. ODM will be happy. RTK buddies fell in the first round, but they will be back. Don't worry. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tournament. I had a blast casting it. We saw some great games. New names, some old names. Was a lot of support in chat. Noticed viewer count was higher than it has been in the past couple weeks. And yeah, this was a tryout tournament. So if you want to go to the Discord and leave some feedback, especially if you played in it, on the maps, like which ones you liked, which ones you didn't like, and also the format, what you think we could change, if you like the system or if you don't like it at all, you can leave some feedback there, because I want to see how we can grow this scene. And one thing I think is important is having an appealing rule set, an appealing format people can get into easily. So that's what we're working on. Of course, it can't be the work of just a single person, and it isn't, because there are other people doing stuff in multiplayer as well, but I definitely want to do my part. So that, I'm gonna thank you for watching and drop you over one other stream, which we shall raid. I think we're gonna raid Born's Champion. It's been a while since I've raided him. So if you're not a sub, just spam some cat emotes in chat if you want to join the raid. All the cat emotes on Twitch belong to me. That's gonna be it, guys. Thanks for watching again. Bye.